Welcome to GTA Racing 2 and my video of this great-handing Lamborghini Veneno, which is a little harder to get hold of than the Elemento there, which can be bought with in-game coins. Here are the statistics for when you first get hold of the car. Actually, those look like the statistics for as I've ordered upgraded to, and they are. Here are the levels I've ordered upgraded to. You notice I don't have it completely upgraded as I could easily do with the in-game coins. There's something peculiar about this car. When you upgrade its acceleration, its horsepower goes down, which I assume is accounted for by the fact that it becomes much lighter. There are a few other cars in the game like that. It does have an effect in the game. When you first get hold of the car, you get it in the white. For 5 cash, you can get it in any of the other colors, such as I've selected the lime green. It looks pretty good in the yellow. I've got lots of cars in yellow and lots of cars in oranges. Look good in orange too. And there's a red. And should you want to hide out from the competition, there's gray and black. So how about we take this great 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive handling car, a true driving enthusiast car, out for a drive, because there are not any offline races that pay out very well for this car. You'd have to be a driving enthusiast to want to drive it, I believe. And it does handle well. Here we are at Heimstrecke. It's a 2-lap race. We're probably doing it in the more challenging of the directions to do it in. There are a few of the corners that are hidden behind small rises. And you know, we're not having too much trouble with the competition here. That's probably because we've got several more upgrades and a higher CP number than they do. Now, this car has a great big diffuser on the back. Has a wing and a fin there. I think Gameloft has done something sort of aerodynamics with this car, the way it handles, because it sticks to the road a little better than I figure the handling statistics would indicate. Although the front end will get loose on you on occasion if you slow down. So I'm figuring it's, when you're at speed, it's doing something with aerodynamics. And the other thing is, if you just stomp on the brakes and go into a corner and keep on the brakes, it will go into a 4-wheel slide just like the Bugatti does. Now, the Bugatti is a much heavier car than this. Bugatti will go into several slides while you're going around the corner. This might go into one. So sometimes it'd be a good idea when it's sharp turns to either pulse the brake when you're getting into the corner or going to the corner if you're not exactly sure your braking zone. It is a great handling car. I'm going to be driving it on 4 different tracks. This is probably the easiest track to drive it on. And this one, if you like to drive in this game, and you're not using the Elemento or one of the other 4-wheel drive cars on the track that's all wet and dark, you've probably hit this track and you'll be able to compare your track times to what a wife got. Although your track times might be a little better than mine or a little different than mine, should you get hold of this car, because you might go for a different upgrade level. There we go, we've completed 2 laps. The experience isn't too bad, but the payout is minuscule. You'd have to be a driving enthusiast to want to run this car. Well, the best lap there was 1 minute and 29 seconds, which isn't exactly tops, but it is around the time I usually do with the W Motors Hypersport on this track when I'm not really on the ball. Now let's take it to another track. That's a good racetrack. It's got some runoffs. Laguna Seca. If you're not familiar with the previous one, maybe you know this one. We'll be doing 2 laps here, and we'll be up against 4 types of S-Class cars, of which it appears all 4 of them have already been in view. This track's got some good contrast. It's a little harder to pick up the corners. There is some glare in some parts of the track. Gameloft does play with that throughout the game. There are definitely tracks that it's a lot worse than this. And this is a true racetrack with runoffs. Which I seem to be using plenty of. Well, it's a couple quick laps of Laguna Seca. Maybe not the prettiest laps, but in the payouts for 2 laps, that's not that good for 160 seconds roughly. 1 minute and 15-second lap, which is quite reasonable. I'm a big one to another race. This race, I believe, is the highest rate of payout you can get with this car, and it's competing against any of the S-Class cars available. This is a little different than the other 2 tracks we've been on. This is a road course. It's completely confined within walls. Really good. You can run over the curbs at the apexes and use the full width of the track without actually hitting the apex. It is only a 1-lap race, which makes that 7,400 value of the race for coming in first palatable, and the highest rate you can earn with this car. And we just went through the trickiest corner on the line. on this track, a hairpin there with a little rise before it, which tends to lighten the car up when you're braking. Reasonably respectable. We did hit 2 apexes. Let's see what our lap time is. 8,000 with the bonus, and I get a 2% bonus because I decided I wanted a second mechanic. Ooh, that's not actually that good. 1 minute and 33 seconds. Almost 1 minute and 34 seconds. And we don't need to pay for another upgrade for our car. Now I'm going to take you to perhaps the most challenging track available in this game. Mount Rainier. It's at night. We're doing 2 laps against drivers using the same type of car. And it'd help if we get to the front of the pack early because it's a King of the Hill race. This track may not show off the best of my driving skills, but it should show off the car. So there we have it. Not the best example. I did warn you that it probably wasn't going to be the best. For a little over 2 minutes or 130 seconds, we've got 5,700 for that race. 1 minute and 2 second lap. It's reasonable. And we don't need another upgrade. It keeps insisting on needing an upgrade in the car. So there we have it, the Lamborghini Veneno. Should you get a hold of one, hope you have a good experience with it. I'm going to call that a video.